Hello everyone, my name is Cheri Gaebel. I am a graduate A pony clubber from the Groton Pony Club in Massachusetts, and I am currently a professional rider and trainer at my farm in Pennsylvania. Today we're going to walk a course that's set up and discuss the trainer's point of view and the course designer's point of view and the questions being asked of all the different elements of our show jumping course. Then we will have a rider come out and she will be demonstrating how we're going to ride the elements of the course. Okay, so we're going to start with our first fence, and it is set so that you can come off of either lead. So you pick the preference of your horse and yourself and you come on either lead, and our first fence is going to be a hedge vertical. So I call it the hedge. It has a little filler. It gives the horse something to look at and get their attention. And it is headed towards the schooling area, in this circumstance towards our barn. And we're going to use it as a single fence so that we can see if we have the right pace, balance, and rhythm that we want to continue on with the course. So again, we can come off either lead, whichever is your preference, and we're going to start walking our course. So I want my rider to be going forward in a nice rhythm. This jump is pretty much on the flat, so we're not too concerned with uphill, downhill yet, but that will become something that we're going to talk about in a bit. So we're going to jump the first fence and continue straight so that we're able to put together a nice balanced turn. We're not doing the inside turns today. We're going to do the nice wide turn. So we stay forward, we stay with a good rhythm. Not too close to the oxer jump. We're going to stay a little wide. Make sure that when we come through our turns, we keep the same rhythm. Now we're going to be turning away from the schooling area, away from our barn, and now we are going to be going a little bit uphill. So we have our first question, a related distance line. We want to make sure we come forward through the turn and keep coming up the hill as the horse recognizes they have two jumps in a row. We'll see what our distance on the inside is. We're going to walk it. We're going to determine how many strides we want to get, but it's more important to determine if it's going to ride short or long. And that's also going to depend on which horse you're sitting on. You have to know your horse's stride, be familiar with your horse's stride. We're going to land approximately here. 1, 2, 3, 1 stride. 1, 2, 3, 2 stride. 1, 2, 3, 3 strides. 1, 2, 3, 4 strides. 1, 2, 3, 5 strides. 1, 2, 3, 6 strides. This is going to be a short 6 on purpose a little bit because it is coming in over a vertical and we're coming uphill and away from the schooling area. So to make it a confidence building ride for the horse, we're going to have it a little on the short conservative side. Jumping out over the oxer, hopefully we land going forward. We want to keep that forwardness through the turn coming up. We're going to land, check our lead, keep coming forward, start to look around the turn. We're jumping the wall with the black and white stripe pole. Keep our eye on it. We don't want to cut the corner, so we have the inside leg on. We don't want to bulge too wide and overshoot the turns. We have the outside aids on. We're going to line up nice and straight and come down the hill to the wall with the rail. And this is leading us into a bending line back to the light blue and black rails. So we're going to try, again, you need to be aware of what your horse's strengths and weaknesses are and your horse's length of stride. The bending line to the right can be your friend if you know your horse well. So if you jump in weak here or short strided, you can stay out a little wide and add a step to your line. If you jump in really bold and forward, you may want to be more direct and not have to have a wrestling match and get you would get one less stride than if you bent and made your turn wider. So we're going to just walk center to center and have a plan. We'll see how the plan goes when we get riding. Land. 1, 2, 3, 1 stride. 1, 2, 3, 2 stride. 1, 2, 3, 3 stride. 1, 2, 3, 4 stride. 1, 2, 3, 5 stride. 1, 2, 3, 6 stride. And 1, 2, sort of 6.5. So on a bending line, this works because you can either stay wide and get a 7 stride or stay shallow and get a 6 stride. So it works. You just have to have a plan, know your horse. This is coming a little downhill, and it is vertical to vertical, which rides differently than if it were oxer at one end or the other. So patiently, the plan for us is going to be to try and get the 7 and stay a little wide and be patient to the verticals. And I want to land in really good control because my next fence is a yellow and green oxer off a bit of an immediate turn. So I'm going to land off this vertical. I'm going to make sure the horse is in front of the leg, hopefully on the correct lead, and really make sure that I keep coming through the turn to the oxer. Keep coming, and get nice and straight, and land and stay straight. We'll jump this single oxer, land and stay straight, and then we'll start coming back around to the right, and we're going to the red vertical box jump across the center of the ring. Keeping my eye on it, so again, I don't cut the turn. I have my inside leg on, so I don't cut the turn. I have my outside aids on, so I don't drift too wide. Present nice and straight. Be very patient. It's just a nice vertical. In this arena, it is a bit of a downhill landing. I want to make sure that we are just quiet and patient here. So as we land off this red and white jump, we're going to have plenty of time to make an adjustment if we need to. So every course design has locations on it where you can send the horse forward if you need to, you can half halt, you can shorten your reins, fix your lead. You just find those pockets on your course design that allows you to, gives you some strides and allows you some time to do that. So now we've just landed off that one red one, we're going to another red and white one. And we've gone downhill, now we're going back uphill. And my recommendation on this jump, if you're riding a show jumping course with some terrain involved, is to kind of get up on the flat ground as early as possible. I feel like it helps me find my fence and find my line. So I'm going to get up on this flat ground about 3 strides out, and I think that'll help set me up for the next fence. So this is the first fence of another bending line. The first bending line we did was tracking right. This one will be tracking left and coming out over an oxer. So the first one we did was vertical to vertical. Now we're going vertical to oxer. Just a question of keeping your stride, keeping your momentum, keeping your length of stride, your impulsion, and your rhythm. So we've pushed the horse forward coming up the hill. And now we're going to find our way on this left-hand bending line. 1 stride, 2, 3, 2 strides, 1, 2, 3, 3 strides, 1, 2, 3, 4 strides, 2, 3, 5 strides, 1, 2, 3, 6 strides, and take off room. So this fence will allow us, this striding to this oxer will allow us to just come in a nice bending 6 strides. The first bending line we did, remember, has a 6.5, so you have choices. This one requires a little more commitment. If you jump in weak, you can stay out wider. I walked center to center, but you can stay out wider. And if you jump in strong, you can stay shallow on your bending line, but this would be a great test of riding center to center. Here we're going to land off our oxer. and head towards our final question on the course, which will be our combination fence. So again, we have time here to make any adjustments to get ready for this fence. If we need to get the horse more forward, or if we need to rebalance or fix our lead. Our last test is a little bit going uphill, again, away from the schooling area and the barn and the other horses. And it's a triple combination. We want to give the horse enough time to process what's in front of them, not rush them at it, never ride them faster than they can think. And we'll present them to the front of the triple. It is a vertical to oxer, a 1 stride to a 2 stride. Comfortable distances. Again, this one is set a little bit going uphill, maybe a little on the conservative side on our distance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's 24 feet coming in a 1 stride, which is a typical horse show distance 1 stride. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So typical 2 stride, horse show distance 2 stride. And then please have a plan for where you want to go on after you've gone through the finish flags. After you go through the finish flags, just know I'm going to turn left or right because you're going to run out of ring quicker than you think. Okay, we should see how well we can ride it now. Okay, we're going to watch our rider demonstrate the course now. And she's electing to start off the left lead. Gives her a pretty good approach to the first fence, what I would do. Straighten his neck. We're going to give her some helpful hints along the way. She's got to fix her lead and get the back legs done. Keep coming forward. Keep going forward. Well done. Very nice there. Keep this rhythm, outside rein, don't bend his neck. Patience. Whoa. She got the 6. That horse has a big stride and it is going downhill. That would be something to school. Nice over the single oxer, out of the rhythm, very nice. Patient to the vertical, patient. Horse heard me there. Keep your rhythm up the hill. How we talked about getting up on the flat ground early so she can find the fence. Nice. He was cross-cantering there and a little flat and not concerned about that oxer. She may want to redo that line. Nice. Good release with her hands, good use of the horse's neck there. And she knew her plan was to land and finish going left lead. Very good, very well done. Is there a portion of that you may want to redo? Yes. Yes. You're supposed to breathe. Always, most important thing riding a course, keep breathing. Good boy. So did you feel him cross canter in that line? Landing on the outside lead, which is not a problem. And the cross cantering is not a problem. You just need to support with your leg. And this is the real world. This is something that would happen on a bending line. If they land on the correct lead, the inside lead, piece of cake. If they land on the outside lead, you risk getting the cross canter, which is what that horse did. You can try and get the flying change in there, or you can hold the outside lead, the counter canter. Both of those would be a good option. We are getting the fence set back together, and just, I liked everything else you did. That was a really nice pace. You know, you got maybe a couple of tighter spots, but that's the safer option at this height. That was really good. So let's redo that line. Yep, yep. You don't have to do the triple, it was lovely. Yeah, it was lovely. Okay, so we're just gonna redo the bending line and just shape out your turn a little bit more, not quite so shallow. Okay. Jump the first one straight. Left lead. Nope. Well, that was a brilliant correction. So he landed on the outside lead, but he held it. So I think she must have had her left leg on that time. It was lovely. Did you like that better? Which lead were you on? Yes. And she recognized she was on the outside lead. So that was very well ridden, and she executed her plan well. So in our course today, we've covered related distances, bending lines both directions, single vertical, single oxers, and a combination line. And we've seen it executed with forward, rhythm, balance, and awareness on the rider's part. And that's a wrap.